video is brought to you by Setco Transportation. Now hiring Class 1 drivers in residual in Creston, Kelowna, West Kootenays, and Vernon. Hiring some log drivers in Penticton and Princeton. Hiring some international positions in Kettle Falls, Washington, and in Priest River, Idaho. Also some human resource, could be some, who knows. If you guys hit that little link there and go to the Sutherland.group/join our team, there might be a lot of positions open on there that I didn't list here. But they're hiring a human resource partner in Nelson, health and safety manager in Salmo or Nelson, a logistics broker in Kelowna, inside sales representative in Kelowna, and a remote transportation broker in Alberta, Manitoba, and Ontario. Swing by the website, see what's all up on there. Come ride with me if you work in the office or on the highway. I would love to get to know you. Good morning.
Afternoon.
Jess said she had a really good day on Saturday.
I did.
And then today she says, I'm too tired for opinions. It's like, okay, Saturday, right side of bed. Monday, wrong side of bed.
I didn't get much of a bed. I think that's the problem.
Not enough bed. Not enough bedtime. Well, it's not exactly my fault. You were chatting with your brother till 3 a.m.
No, 2 a.m.
Okay, 2 a.m.
That's only because I was waiting for you to come to bed.
My fault. I see how this works. Okay, we are. Penticton's behind us. This is Caledon, and we're about to go onto Highway 3A, even though my GPS says we're going the wrong way. Well, GPS, this is the better and faster way. The GPS wants me to take the connector and the Coquihalla. I would love to take the connector and the Coquihalla, but it is the longer way. A hard climb here. We're still with our Super B here. Heavy load, slow going uphill. Here's the scale. Looks like it's closed. Hey, there's Iron Gold truck down there. Much momentum as we can down here. We're up to speed limit. Now we're gonna lose all our speed. All right, four-way flashers on. Here comes the hard climb. Losing speed. Went from 18th gear down to 14th gear already. 13th. 50 kilometers an hour. Are you gonna have cell service to chat with your brother?
I'm so tight without sending it.
Oh, okay. Looks like we went just below 50 kilometers an hour, and now we're gaining a little bit of speed again. But don't worry, we'll lose it all again, and then gain it, and then lose it all again, and then gain it. So we're heading up to, we're past Twin Lakes, Olalla, Karameros. When you say Highway 3A, it can be confusing what section of Highway 3A. It's like Highway 3A in the Okanagan or Highway 3A in the Kootenays. Some pretty good solid black lines here. Somebody asked me a really good question I want to talk about, and I don't remember.
I have no clue.
Shoot. I'm like, yeah, let's talk about that on a live stream. Not a live stream. This isn't the live stream. What were we going to talk about? And 11th gear, throttle all the way down. I answered the question in the comments, but I was going to talk about it on a video. Huh. Maybe it'll come to me. Oh, braking! Braking! How braking works on a semi, and if you have to make emergency brakes, what to do and stuff like that. So we have air brakes. And what that means is we have two air hoses leading from the truck to the trailers. Jess is already frustrated with that rattle. That's been there all week.
I know what it is.
What is it?
Can you check with your laptop stand, please?
I don't think that's what it is. Wasn't touching anything. I think it's the water bottles. So we got a red air hose and a blue air hose going to the trailer from the truck. The red air hose, when you do your pre-trip, you air up your trailer, and the trailer have these air tanks in the back by the wheels, and those air tanks are used to hit the brakes and to fill the air suspension. And this trailer has the automatic tire inflation. But the brake on my truck is, just imagine it's an air valve. We actually have two air valves. The brake is an air valve that brakes all the tires on the truck and the trailer. There's a hand valve that only brakes the trailer. I don't use the hand valve. Maybe I'll get a little bit into who uses the hand valve. So when I hit the brakes on the floor, the blue line, so the brake on the floor and the hand valve are attached to the blue air line. The red air line just brings air all the way to the back and keeps the trailers full of air. The blue air line is attached to my foot valve, and when I hit the foot valve, it releases air into the blue line, and that air, depending on how much pressure I put into that blue line, the harder I press the brakes, the more pressure goes into the blue line, the harder the brakes will be applied on the trailer. But air is slow and it compresses, so it takes like almost a full second for the trailers to hit the brakes. So sometimes when I slam on the brakes, you can feel when the trailers all of a sudden grab. Especially when the trailers are empty, you'll feel that thump when the air brakes finally apply on the trailer. So in emergency, I know this isn't what the question was. The question was how to avoid jackknifing in an emergency, but we're getting there. So in emergency, when you slam on the brakes, first off you have to move your foot off the throttle to the brake and then hit the brake, and then it takes a second for the brakes to apply. So from when you in a car move over to hit the brakes, it takes us at least twice as long to even start braking. And then on a Super B load like this, we're super heavy. We're not max weight load, but we're super heavy. On a load like this, when you hit the brakes, that's a lot of weight. What's the rule? An object in motion wants to remain in motion. That's a lot of object in motion that wants to remain in motion, so it takes a long time. And you can lock up all the brakes. Well, these have ABS on them, so they'll leave the little dots of black lines on the road. You can lock everything up, but it'll take a while to stop. Now, as far as jackknifing, it's unlikely you're going to jackknife when you slam on the brakes, unless you swerve. Never ever swerve. If a deer runs in the way, a duck, a goose, Sasquatch, do not swerve. Just slam on the brakes. Unless it's a skunk, swerve, roll the damn truck. Don't hit the skunk. Don't hit the skunk. I'll be upside down in the ditch before I hit the skunk. Maybe not, but as far as if the roads are wet, it's been raining hard, or they're icy and there's snow on the road, and you have to slam on the brakes, I'm sorry, you're just going to crash. There's just no way around it. In emergency, every truck driver will crash, at least more likely to crash than not to crash. It's just going to happen. The one time I did emergency brake, I ended up in the ditch. I didn't damage anything, but I ended up in the ditch. Luckily, I hit a ditch where there were no trees and no rocks. But emergency brake, into the ditch you go. It's not going to be a good day in emergency brake on a wet or icy road. So don't ever force a big rig to make an emergency brake on bad weather, because it's not going to end up good for you or the driver. The truck driver will crash. What's the best way to prevent a jackknife? Well, some people say hand valve. If your trailer starts sliding around on you, use the hand valve so only your trailer brakes are being applied, pulling everything straight. And in theory, that's a great idea, but in emergency, it's just not how it's going to go. There are drivers that use the handbrake on logging trucks. Non-emergency, going down a mountain to prevent jackknives. Logging trucks go down some very, very steep stuff. They use the hand valve to descend some mountains to keep everything straight. So the hand valve does get used by some truck drivers, but I never use it. The only time I'll use the hand valve if I'm doing a tug test on the trailer. It's literally the only time I do a. And then sometimes I forget I used the hand valve and then it's stuck down position and didn't pop back up, and I'm like, why are my brakes not releasing? What's going on here?
I remember that one time.
I've done that a couple of times, but when I was a rookie, I did that. And I couldn't figure it out. And I actually didn't pull the hand valve that time. My jacket, I had thrown my jacket over the steering wheel and it had pulled the hand valve down. I called a tow truck. And the tow truck guy crawls underneath the trailer and goes, well, your brake lights are on. Are you sure your brakes aren't on? Oh yeah, hand valve's on. Most embarrassing tow truck call ever. Oh, there's some people fishing. Yellow Lake. Yes, it looks green.
You know, the fall colors.
But yeah, I was going to say the best way to prevent jackknife, there really is only one best way. And that is come down the mountain slowly enough so you don't start jackknifing. The best way, I guess the best way to save a jackknife is not to start a jackknife in the first place. Because no matter how much you think through your plan, it's probably not going to work out. I mean, it has worked out. You might get lucky every now and then. I remember that huge snowstorm on Manning Park, and I thought I was through all the crazy stuff and started speeding up a bit, and I come around a corner and the road is almost completely blocked. There's two big rigs, one headed down the mountain, one up the mountain, stuck on the road, and there's enough space for me to kind of fit through them at the right angle, and I was hitting the brakes. The Super B behind me is starting to jackknife, and I just hit the throttle at the end. I'm just like, full throttle. I know I have to slow down, but full throttle. Got everything straight between the trucks. I thought I was hitting them. It was just a done deal. I'm like, well, I'm gonna crash. Sorry whoever's sleeping in those trucks, because I'm about to crash into you guys. And somehow hitting the throttle at the last minute straightened everything out, and I got through, and then back on the brakes hard again to get slowed down for the next corner, and started jackknifing again and working my way down. And that was one of my early years winters as well. Try a lot harder now to not get into that situation. And that goes for cars as well. Don't swerve. Just slam on your brakes. You can swerve once you slow down. But swerving and then slamming on the brakes, you're going to roll over and crash. Spin out and crash. You're just crashing. Hitting the brakes hard first is the best way to avoid crashing. So.
Try the fall colors.
See, I like it when you guys ask questions. We don't have to talk about fall colors then. We can talk about brakes.
Those are the wrong words for today.
Oh, wrong words for the day. I'm quite enjoying the fall colors.
That's better.
Pretty overcast. I was hoping it wouldn't be overcast so I could untarp this tonight.
Brother says it's raining where he is, so we're probably going into rain. There's a very good chance the rain's over there.
I'll have to look at the map and see where we're going to sleep tonight and figure all that out.
thought there was only one option really, but yeah.
I think we're unloading before that dock.
No. Then I don't know.
With the regular Langley spot. That might still work if it's not backtracking too far. Did a lot of seal coating all the cracks. This is a rough ride now. Hopefully those seals, hopefully they get pounded into the pavement pretty quick, because, well, this is just as rough of a ride, and this hasn't been seal coated. Just debating. We can't sleep at Langley, our regular Langley sleep place. Chilliwack, regular spot might be a no-go too.
Well, that's been changing too.
There's that yard in Chilliwack.
I think that's what I was talking about. Maybe I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I was thinking Cardlock.
Oh.
But that yard in Chilliwack, what's been changing there?
Where our yard used to be?
Yeah, where our yard still is. In Chilliwack, right? Oh no, it's moved, right.
Ooh.
Right, so we don't have restrooms there anymore.
I like that lot, last we knew, was all getting ready for development too, so.
Okay. Where do we park, guys? There's like, every time I find a spot, it gets taken away from us.
No, but it's not being because the development is because local drivers that refuse to use their own yards, right? So.
I don't know.
Like, honestly, you can't even sleep at home. It's that bad where you can't, like, you can't sleep out of the city either.
Yeah, Hope is going to be full. The truck stop's going to be completely full by the time we get there.
Like,
The rest area is a no-go. There's that random yard, though, that's often used by construction crews these days.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe lucky this is Thanksgiving, but there's spots, but I don't know. We don't know till we get there.
Chilliwack Petropass would be the place to go if we knew they had spots to park.
Yeah.
But with the construction, they kick you out at 6 a.m.
Yeah. But if you take into consideration how long it might take you to get to where we're delivering, it might work.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do the math.
Maybe we'll try to see if the Hope gas stations, there's the Flying J and the Esso. Then just get up early in the morning tomorrow.
Yep, that might be an option. Yeah, it's so hard to find spots to park in Vancouver.
Or even here. There's no spots to park. There's no nothing. You just have to pick a random gravel pull out and we're leaving super early to help us find a spot, but it still doesn't guarantee one because everybody else is doing the same thing, leaving early. Welcome to Karameros.
Like you missed Olalla. Olalla doesn't matter.
What's that?
Kind of bypass Olalla, doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, I guess we just passed Olalla. 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 Yeah, we went through Olalla. I was too busy thinking of parking. And untarping and do I untarp tonight or not? I would like to. Is he using a tiger torch to burn his weeds? Hopefully did the research and it's not the type of weed that needs fire to activate the seed.
Some of the orchards are starting to change.
Oh yeah, getting a bit of yellow in them. Let's go through Karameros. We can honk at our friend. She could use the lift.
I'm looking at their posts recently. They're doing Christmas right now. They're looking at their posts, but they're doing Christmas.
They're doing Christmas right now, yeah. Because we don't think she's going to make it to Christmas. Basically, the doctors are just making her as comfortable as possible. She's a tough woman.
Yeah, she's already beat what they said that would happen.
Oh yeah, they she's long past what the doctor said she had. We're buying pumpkins.
Turn here to go to the grist mill.
Yep. Yeah.
I highly recommend the grist mill.
They've planted orchard in the whole yard
Yeah.
there. That's really cool.
Yep. I think she did.
Sorry, person walking your dog.
I think she did
Had to be
cherry
done.
trees. I think.
Cherry trees.
I
Nice.
think.
It's rare we come through Karameros like this.
I'm glad you went on the bike ride yesterday because forecast just looks colder and colder every day.
Yeah,
from now on.
it might have been my last bike ride for the year.
Yeah.
Hug the yellow line.
I get mad at this store every time I read Fish and Chipper because I'm a food store.
Fish and Chipper is not a food store.
Yeah.
Is it a pet supply store?
It says Curiosity Shop. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely not the right name to put on a storefront if it's not food.
It definitely looks more cloudy, rainy going this way.
Yeah, unfortunately. It's not what I wanted to see. Taking pictures in the apple trees. Did I miss Happy Jack Place? Is that coming up?
I can't remember.
I don't see a sign I was looking for.
I think it might be coming up.
So I thought it was that place, but
It might be in these trees here, but
could be.
well, we could have missed it.
I know it used to be a famous. Oh, there it is. I see it.
Yeah.
It used to be a fruit stand right here. Happy Jack.
Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk.
Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Or at symbol, money, money symbol.
They have really, really yellow pumpkins. Like creamy yellow. They're not squash,
Not
it's pumpkin.
orange, they're more yellow. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. Like what you would expect from a squash, but in a pumpkin. It's weird.
Now we get into this narrow valley. If you see, I don't know if you guys can see there, every now and then you'll see on the right hand side and on the other side of the river, well, not yet. On the right hand side, there is a grade through the mountains where a train track used to be. And on the left hand side, right beside the road, is a grade where a railroad used to be. In fact, that red bridge ahead of us used to be the railroad bridge. So there were two railroads here. The one on the right goes to Headley, the one on the left goes to Princeton. you see rest areas in Canada, most of them are like that one, just pit toilets.
And we don't have the fancy ones, really.
We don't have a lot of the American style rest areas.
Yeah. And I would also say don't set your standards high in the.
Oh, some of them are pretty bad.
Yeah. But some of them that I consider decent, people walk out of saying they're gross.
People walk up to them and go, nope. And it's like, oh, that's actually a fairly decent one, man. Bring baby wipes if you're traveling. Might need them.
And toilet paper.
And toilet paper.
Yeah.
Honestly, you're better off finding a gravel polo and walking up into the forest.
I was just gonna say, if you want a really bad rest area, we can give you one, and then you'll think every single one after that's good.
Let me think. Kamloops scale rest area.
Yep.
That's one of the top worst, disgusting places. Or the scale / brake check. Eastbound coming into Kamloops.
I'm just like, for how well used that is right at that location.
You
They
think
could-
they'd have daily maintenance on it or
I don't
something?
know, they could afford just to put
Decent, regular washrooms in.
normal washrooms. Like,
Yeah.
they should just do that.
Well, the scale house itself probably has plumbing and has washrooms. Just build proper, bigger washrooms into the scale house. The plumbing is all there already.
Like, it's not a location that's out in the boondocks. Like, you can easily put decent washrooms there. The amount of traffic they get there, scary.
Yeah, with a Super B like today, we're gonna be the slowest truck on the road.
So they lost their tire.
Yeah, someone lost their tire, but
That's a boat.
not them. That's a boat check.
Yeah.
Beautiful Snoqualmie Valley. trees. The bright yellows aren't staying around very long.
I read that's the thing across Canada this year. Like Ontario and Nova Scotia, they were all experiencing really weird fall colors.
Trees are just going from green leaves to brown leaves.
Yep, or they're falling off, or
And that's a lack of sunlight.
for certain pigments, yeah. But then the smoke was another reason.
Oh yeah, all the forest fire smoke does that, yeah. So I guess on years we have less forest fires, like fall colors are more beautiful.
They say if we get a really sunny summer next year, the reds are even more vibrant next fall if we have the right summer.
So we need more sun, less smoke.
Yep.
There's an RV for sale.
Probably. I don't know why else you would park in there.
Which is fairly old. I didn't know this, but there's a lot of RV parks, or most RV parks, that don't allow vehicles at a certain age.
Yeah, some of them are over 10 years old. Some of them are a certain year, like 2008 or whatever.
So basically, if you don't have a new RV, you're not allowed to park at these RV parks.
Yep.
I'm like, what is up with that?
I want to say it's insurance reasons, but I really don't know.
It's to keep the poor people out of the RV park.
Well, that too, yeah.
So then where are they supposed to park? We're not allowing them to park on streets. We're not allowing them to park in RV parks. So they just have to park randomly everywhere and get kicked out. Literally have nowhere to go. What are we going to do when our RV is going to be past 10 years after we
that's what I
buy
was
it?
thinking too. I'm like, you have to reinvest in new ones all the time? Like,
You have to keep buying a new RV every 10 years? I don't think I can afford to buy a new RV every 10 years. Corn down there that hasn't been harvested. So we're getting frost, so they better harvest that. I don't know if that's for eating the corn on the cob, or sweet corn, or just silage.
I would say silage or feed of some sort for the cow or pig.
Cattle feed, yeah.
Well, pigs do it as well, right? Corn, so maybe chicken. Okay, animal feed. Something's gonna eat the corn.
Some people camping down there. That campground down there would be a good spot for us. Did we just go by and pull out, or I think there was a spot there to pull out, park a big rig, and then just walk over. Maybe even talk to this guy, neighbor, and ask, hey, can we park our big rig there? Like it's getting stormier and stormier and stormier.
Yeah.
Clouds are getting darker.
Yep.
Here you can see the railroad bed on the right hand side. Tires blocking the railroad bed. Gathering a bit of a lineup behind us. We've got 4 people behind us. How close to Headley are we? Because there's a nice pull-out right after Headley. I think we're pretty close, right?
Yep.
Here's the Headley Nickel Plate Road on the right hand side. That goes right there where the little sign is. If you drive up to that, you'll end up in Penticton. Go through Apex Ski Area and then end up in Penticton.
Do not recommend in winter.
Closed in winter. That's definitely seasonal. Only do that in the summer. 100%. And don't leave the road on the bottom over here. It's private property. There we go. Here's Headley. Really see any of the mine buildings anymore. There's a couple little buildings you can still spot, but it's just concrete foundations now right-hand side. Used to be a lot of ore processing buildings there. Back in the good old days. And the concrete foundations blend into the mountain so well, I doubt you guys will even be able to see those. But anyway, I think it's a good place to end the video. I'll pull into that pull-out and call it a day. I guess it's actually a pretty long video.
Is it?
Yeah. Got distracted. Well guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I do really appreciate it. I said I mean we really appreciate it.
We do.
Really appreciate all your support. Thanks for watching this far into the video. If you guys made it this far, make sure you hit that subscribe. Or if you are subscribed, double check to make sure you're still subscribed. There's some beautiful horses standing right there. And then if you guys want to consider to monetarily help us out, hit that join button down below. I don't know. Horses
They're
are
so focused on
right on
something.
this pullout over here, but I don't know what they're focused on. Anyway, we are out of here. You guys absolutely rock.
Adios.